So let's talk about what I think the number one sign of how to tell if someone is a true friend or not. Because I was talking about this with my best friend on Friday night, and he's not someone I get to see a lot, but he's one of those people where it just feels like the relationship never really changes, and no matter how much time we've been apart, we can just immediately pick back up where we left off. And that's part of what I'm about to tell you. But I was letting him know all this, like why I think our relationship is so strong. And it's important to tell people who actually mean something to you. Like, it's important to let them know that. But yeah, it's not things like having a good character or being loyal, having good morals, because all these things are kind of common sense. Like, after a certain age, you know to pick your friends carefully. But this is something that I don't see that many people talking about. So the way I'll explain this idea is, it kind of feels like there are two versions of me that exist. There's the person that I show to people who I'm meeting the first time, and I'm trying to portray myself in a certain way. Confident, talkative, outgoing, almost a little bit extroverted in a way. And I do a good job of that. I come across well in first impressions. But what I always say to people is, it's like, that is the most extroverted you'll ever see me. And that side of me takes effort. It's something I've, for better or worse, conditioned myself into, probably because society just pushes this narrative constantly from when we're a kid of, you need to act a certain way in order to be successful. You need to be traditionally extroverted. And I've pushed myself through lots of challenging social situations, which I do believe has bettered me. But I'm not sure the way that I act around other people is fully aligned with who I am on the inside. I think in a way you could describe it as performing. And maybe I'm yet to fully come to terms with that. But what I do know is the interior version of me, the guy that I am internally, is introverted. I have an introverted core. And I am drained when I spend too much time around other people or in intense social situations. And to be honest, I just don't like talking for the sake of talking. So for me, I have friends and acquaintances who fall into the former category, where we get on, we have lots of things in common. They're of good character, of good morals. And I'm not saying I don't appreciate these people, but around some of them, I'm the other guy. I'm the performing extrovert. And sometimes in the context of our relationship, that works. Like, if we are friends at work, or we share particular hobbies where we don't really get into personal territory, we're not vulnerable with each other, but that's fine. Like, the relationship is fine for what it is. But what I said to my best friend on Friday was, the reason I think you're a true friend, why we're so close, is because I feel so comfortable around you that honestly I could sit with this guy for an hour in silence, just saying nothing. That's how comfortable I feel around this guy. Like, because around other people, when you're not talking, it can create a bit of awkward tension. It can feel like you need to fill that space with something performative. That desire that we all have to say the right thing, the smart and funny thing, to not have any gaps in the conversation. But when you're that comfortable with someone, and I'm lucky to say this about, I have this with my family too, don't need to be saying anything. I don't feel like I need to change myself around them, or that I'm at risk of being judged if I don't live up to anyone else's standards. I can just exist peacefully and know that it's okay and enjoy their company without having to like step outside of who I really am. Which kind of sounds like some cliche type shit, but it's just true. It's just being able to exist in comfort. And I've had to let some friends go in the past who were good people, and I'm hesitant to say it was more of a me problem than a them problem, even though maybe it is, but it sounds like a cliche. Just because someone has good morals, just because they seem like they'd make a good friend, or maybe you're looking at it from the angle of what can they do for me? Just because they possess all the right qualities that you would want in a friend doesn't mean you have that chemistry. It doesn't mean that you can just fully embrace who you are, be yourself around them, sit in silence for hours at a time and not feel any pressure to talk or perform. Hopefully you get the gist of what I'm saying. Have a think about who those individuals are in your life, who you can just exist around. Just enjoy sitting and doing nothing. Just enjoying their company, even if there's not that like direct communication between the two of you. I think that's what makes a true friend.